Strike averted. There was handshaking and back-patting all around today after Governor Cuomo helped broker a deal between the MTA and Long Island Railroad unions to avoid a potentially crippling strike.
All right, let's begin with CBS 2 political reporter Marcia Kramer with details on this deal. Marcia.
Maurice, the deal to avert the strike can claim a lot of winners. The riders don't have to face a strike. The unions got raises, and the MTA got concessions on benefits.
It took 3 strikes, 3 strokes actually, to say you're out to the possibility of a Long Island Railroad strike. MTA Chair Thomas Prendergast signed the agreement, then union head Anthony Simon, and finally Governor Cuomo.
And I am signing, but only as a witness that they signed.
But Cuomo was anything but a witness. When talk stalled last night over health and pension benefits for new employees and wage progressions, Cuomo stepped in, talking through the night to forge a compromise.
Neither side gets everything that they wanted to get, but it means that we reach an agreement and we can move forward.
Although both sides tried to keep details of the deal sketchy until it's ratified by union membership, the outlines include a 17% wage hike over 6.5 years, the first ever health care contributions by the 5,400 union workers, and pension and wage progression concessions for new employees. The concessions will pay for the wage hike, which means there will be no fare hikes or the need to take money out of the budget for capital projects.
You may not be able to achieve exactly what you want, but in the spirit of getting to a deal that's fair and reasonable, takes care of the needs of the employees, protects the commuters, and MTA's long-term financial stability, that is what's required.
This was about the riders. This was definitely about the riders.
Boy, was that ever the truth for all the parties, but especially for Governor Cuomo, who's running for re-election this year and didn't want to alienate potential voters. That's why this exchange with Governor Cuomo was so telling. It showed his absolute relief. Governor Cuomo, could you tell us what your message is to Long Island commuters who have suffered through, a lot of agita the last several weeks, wondering whether or not they were going to have rail service?
Marcia Kramer, did you use the word agita, Marcia Kramer?
Yeah, I knew you could understand it.
Do you really know what agita means, Marcia Kramer? You just...
I do, and I'm capable of explaining it to you.
There was a high degree of agita over the past few days. For those of you who know what agita is, it's sort of like tsurus, the Italians would say. The good news is there could have been a lot more agita next week.
Well, Cuomo's Republican gubernatorial opponent, Rob Astorino, wasted no time in criticizing the deal, saying, and I quote, Cisco and Ebert would have given 1 star to Governor Cuomo's political theater. As for tsurus, well, it's actually Yiddish, not Italian. Maurice and Alice.
So speaking of political theater here, Marcia, just for a second, does anybody believe that Governor Cuomo would have seen a strike in an election year?
I think there's only 2 words to respond to that. No way.
No blank way, right? Okay.